and gentlemen, welcome to Walking with J.Beau. As you can see, fall is going ahead as planned by Mother Nature, and a lot of the trees now are losing their leaves. Typical per Halloween season here in Maine, where oftentimes when we have Halloween, it's usually highs in the 50s or around 50, and most of the leaves have fallen. Since we got an angry watchdog here. Hi, doggy. Hi. So, today is in the mid-50s. It's kind of a warm mid-50s. It's not bad. And we have a confused person here with a Harris Wall sign on their lawn. They also have the LGBT flag. So, we know how they roll. Anyway, today I was going to do a city walk, and I'm like, well, it's in the afternoon, I don't really want to hear all the traffic, so we're going to make a pit stop in the woods. So today is going to be a woods walk at Gun Talk number 33. So as we pass the property here, it looks like a Peanuts comic strip with leaves on the ground. I just wanted to do a woods walk today while I still can, meaning we have cooler weather on the way. And again, last year I was able to walk a lot longer into November before it got too cold and we got snow. We had a very mild winter last year for most of it. And we're expecting something kind of similar this year, according to the Farmer's Almanac. We'll see, of course, obviously, but a milder winter would definitely make me happy. And so that being said, I will walk until it's too cold, whenever that is. The year before last, the last walk I did was about November, first or second week in November. And I didn't walk again until, I remember the date actually, it was March 12th. But last year I was able to walk here and there all winter. And I'll do that again this year, whatever the weather allows. So, we'll be okay. So today we'll do a walk in the woods. Got a lot of things to discuss. The sun feels nice and warm right now. Glad I didn't bring my hoodie. Which I will be flipping the camera around up ahead somewhere when I get into the woods. So it is a beautiful day in Maine, as you can see. Not bad, not bad. My little patch and hole in the wall here in the world. Share that with you. You can see a lot of the leaves are turning brown now. So we're just starting to lose that beautiful fall look. So we went for walks at the right time and got some nice footage on my walks. And my regular walking videos that are not the Woods Walk Gun Talk series, but in the other playlist as an almost daily walking vlog, we had one of my videos taken down by YouTube, and I got a strike because I was discussing the flibbity gibbet. A flibbity gibbet is a tube with a needle on the end used during scamdemics. So I'm not going to talk about that anymore, and I'm going to call it when people go to the doctor and they get their flibbity gibbet. So I did get a strike for that, so I have a strike against me on my channel. And what's really funny about that is you go into your account and they actually are gracious enough to point out where the infraction is, and they actually have a thing where the video starts telling you the part of the conversation that was bad. So what I did was I chopped that out and re-uploaded it, and unfortunately I had deleted the original footage, so I had to use the video I had ripped. It still came out pretty good regardless. So anyway, I had to re-upload that, and that was for the 3 days ago. Today is the 23rd, I believe. Anyway, we are now going to go for the Woods Walk at Gun Talk number 33. And we're going to head off into the woods here, into the sunset. And you can see already how the foliage is. It's not as vivid as it was, but it's still a nice look. I love having seasons. So you're going to hear a lot of leaf crunching. You're going to see me trip over things, because that's what the leaves do. So we got a nice carpet of leaves to walk on. I don't know, that's kind of therapeutic, isn't it? Excuse me. So I hope everybody is having a beautiful week. Today is Thursday. We got a fat squirrel there. A lot of fat squirrels this time of year. They're eating a lot of acorns and stuff. They're trying to get fat for winter. Probably a good idea. So anyways, last time we came through here it was snowing leaves, and now a lot of the trees up there no longer have leaves. So all right, now we're going to turn this around. Hi everybody, how are you doing? As you can see, there's still a lot of leaves on the trees, but a lot of them have fallen off, as I just showed you. Especially out when you look out that way. Anyway, what I was saying is we have a lot of stuff going on in politics, and lately I've been discussing a lot of politics on my walks because there's an election in less than 2 weeks now. 12 days. 12 damn days, okay? It's coming quick. It's less than 2 weeks. We got 2 more weekend news cycles to get through. And I was telling you about how they were going to unleash, ironically, 3 days ago I was saying, this is the weekend we're going to see them unleash an October surprise. The biggest one's going to be next weekend, the weekend before voting day. Sure enough, Trump hater John Kelly came out with these salacious accusations. And by the way, before we even get into that, this was debunked already. And the reason why it was debunked is it came from an anonymous source to the Atlantic. And nobody would confirm it. And more importantly, the family of the soldier killed in Afghanistan chastised Joe Biden, and they voted for Trump, and they said they absolutely had no problem with Trump at all, and this pretty much put this to bed early when they did that. But the accusation was from John Kelly that Trump made a disparaging comment about Mexicans because the person killed was Hispanic, Mexican American. And he said he offered to pay for the funeral. Then when it was time to pay for it, he scoffed that it was $60,000 and said it doesn't cost no $60,000 to bury an effing Mexican. That was the salacious comment supposedly made, and the family said that's not true. It's made up by the media, an anonymous source, and more than likely a Kamala Harris donor or supporter. Anyway, that has been debunked, and Trump did pay for the funeral, and there were no complaints. $60,000 is not a lot of money to Trump, as we know, and he offered, and it was done, and the family loves Trump and voted for him, and there's no complaints. So these people are just all sour grapes. The other accusation was that Trump was admiring Hitler and his generals, wishing we had generals like that, and they're going off on the dictator thing again because Kamala's campaign is in big trouble. It's in big trouble, folks. This is going even better than I had hoped, because we knew she was a terrible candidate, and the DNC selected her without anybody voting, and that just was not a good idea. It was just dumb. And they're going to pay for that. So anyway, those comments were also put to bed because they were anonymous sources. Nobody's going to go on record to verify the validity of those accusations. Because it's BS. Everybody knows it's BS. They've been saying Trump is Hitler for what, 10 years now almost? And he was president before. So he's probably the worst Hitler ever, because he let them prosecute him, he let them do all kinds of things to him. Impeach him twice. I didn't see any assassinations. I didn't see Trump even locking up Hillary Clinton. You know, he just didn't want to do that. Didn't think it was good for the country, and it's not. So that was really presidential that he did not get credit for. We all hate Hillary. But we don't want to see political persecutions, and we want this stuff to go away. And that leads me to my next segment, where Trump, during an interview yesterday, said that we don't want to start doing stuff like that. And he goes, he was asked specifically if he would consider pardoning Hunter Biden. And he goes, yeah, I know, he's a bad boy. He's, you know, then he started talking about Hillary. You know, I could have locked her up. And, you know, you go to a rally, he said, you'd have 30,000 people there chanting, lock her up. And he was always, and this is true, Trump was always, yeah, you know, take it easy, take it easy. He never echoed lock her up. He never said lock her up once. You know, he would say that, I understand you guys feel like that, and then he'd start talking about something else. So he never promoted that. And, you know, the other thing is too, which is another media lie, saying that he promoted that. He never did. He never said lock her up. So that's all media BS. But we all know that. And people are voting for Trump. He's got more support than he's ever had. And there's good reason for that. As we see the beautiful scenery here today. Not a bad view, huh? So the other thing I did today was I adjusted my screen on here so I can see my camera and see me on it, because it was turning off after a minute. You keep seeing me go back here and touching the screen. I just want to see myself on there. I don't know how much battery it's going to use, don't care. I got an extra battery. But anyway, the lock him up thing and Hunter Biden, I think, my personal opinion, what Trump should do, considering what they've done to Trump, and if he loses this election, that's going to give them the green light to do this to every candidate in the future with no repercussions whatsoever. And this has to stop. And I think a lot of it is factoring into how people are voting. You know, and there's a lot of reasons people are voting for Trump. That might be one of them. The political lawfare. And, you know, it would not be good if Trump gets elected, which I believe he will, that he turns around and does the same thing to them. You know, he was talking about, you know, if people get caught trying to cheat in this election after he wins, he said they're going to be prosecuted, and they should be. But he's not going to go after his political opponents like Adam Schiff and things like that. Unless they clearly did something illegal and deserve that. But Trump needs to put together a good, honest Department of Justice and not be vindictive and vengeful. And I don't think he will be. I really don't. Although they deserve it. These people deserve it. You and I know that. But Trump needs to go a level higher, put the country first, and not start us on a path of that. Because he can turn around and do good things like that while they're trying to undermine his presidency, which they're going to do. They're even going to try to block the electorate and do what they accused him of doing. So we know they're going to do that, right? And they're going to be thinking ahead to 2028, trying to poison the well against whoever it is that runs, especially if they worked with Hitler. So this isn't going to stop anytime soon, which is why Trump needs to rise above it, be above it, set an example. The people will get it, okay? You know, Kamala Harris did her town hall last night. And again, she's on there, Trump is Hitler, he's a fascist. This is all stuff that didn't work before. They're desperate, they're trying to find something that'll stick on the wall. And it's not working. Her town hall was a dud. Even with Democrats. Like, she has this glorious opportunity to finally get across to these voters who are still undecided. And she's wasting her time flailing at Donald Trump. It's the old Hillary playbook that didn't work for her either. So, and then Biden is in New Hampshire for a medical insurance and Medicare thing that he was speaking at. They claim it wasn't a campaign event, but he went to New Hampshire and talked about Trump. So Obviously, the Democrats are very worried that they're going to lose New Hampshire, which should have been pretty solid in Kamala's camp. And apparently internals are telling them otherwise. So, very interesting. And the thing is, though, is what Democrats are worried about is California. And I know you're going to laugh. Trump's never going to win California. That's true. He's not. He could mathematically, but not this year. But many California seats are going to affect Congress. And I'm very happy Trump went there, because he needs to have a Congress. A lot of representatives come out of California, and a lot of them are Republican and a lot of them are Democrat. And they want more Democrats, obviously. So Trump doesn't have any power to get things done. But it does look like the Republicans are going to win the Senate. And right now, I don't want to get your hopes up. I'm just going to give my opinion. My opinion from looking at the electoral map and all this stuff and elections, that Republicans should have anywhere from a 52 to 56 seats in the Senate. That would be big, because that would circumvent a lot of the Susan Collins BS. And Mitt Romney won't be there. So hopefully the voters in Utah did a good thing by selecting the candidate they did. Probably not, though. Utah is one of those weird states. They have a lot of moderate Republicans. So anyway, this is going to be a good election, folks. And I got to tell you right now, I got to get this off my chest. I am sick and tired of you Republicans out there, doom and gloom. They're going to cheat, they're going to steal it, we're going to lose. The simple math is, okay, they can only cheat so much. That's it. That's all I have on that. In a close election, I would worry about it. This one's not close. The media is still going with neck and neck. The polls are tightening. It's not what I'm seeing. And that's what the Democrat internals are saying either. And she's dropping day by day. So, now I'm not being facetious about this, but I think Trump has a legit shot at winning the popular vote right now. And I say that because I think the polling is wrong this year by a lot. From the feedback I'm seeing from early vote returns, early voting, absentee ballots, that's all it's based on. It's not based on polling. Just announced today, North Carolina has surpassed Democrat early voting for the first time ever. Now, what does that mean? A lot of people say, well, people voting early instead of election day, how is that good? Well, it's good because the election is coming up quick. Now, pending a whole bunch of last-minute mail-in voters, most people that do mail-in ballots get their ballots in as soon as they can for Democrats and the military overseas. I'll get to that segment shortly. And it's one of those things where they are really promoting voting early by Republicans. They've done a great job with Laura Trump. And the other thing that Trump did is he outsourced the ground game to a company that they hired to do that. and they're doing an excellent job. Excellent job. It may turn out to be the new way that things are done, even for Democrats, because this was starting to look like it was really successful. So North Carolina, Republicans are outpacing early voting, and that is important because, one, it frees up resources for candidates. When you're paying people to make phone calls, a lot of campaigns have volunteers, but they also pay people, and it costs money. And if they have a list that your name has been taken off it, along with a few thousand other ones, you're not going to get called. You're not going to get stuff mailed to you. Your vote's already in the bank. They don't know how you voted, if you voted for Trump or not, but they'll see a Republican voted. And they're not going to waste financial resources trying to get you to vote. This could also range from radio advertising to whatever else. Like, we've seen a few campaign ads here in Maine, but this district that I'm in here is heavily Republican. Trump won it twice already. He's more popular than he has been. So the ads we've been seeing have been for Congress, which that seat is open because Jared Golden decided to ban guns. Mainers love their guns. Democrats here own guns. And he specifically mentioned AR-15s and assault-style rifles, which many people own them, okay? Democrats included here. It was a loser. He shouldn't have done that. He's in a red district as a blue dog, non-establishment, anti-Pelosi Democrat. And he's been siding with Biden on a lot of things. So that congressional seat here, in the last polling, the Republicans winning, and I fully expect he's going to win that seat because ranked choice voting, when that showed up in 2018, a lot of voters didn't like that. It just barely passed on referendum, and a lot of people feel like he's been sitting in a seat that really hasn't belonged to a Democrat in a long time. So anyway, this is the fireplace here. It's been here for a long time. And like I said, I fully anticipate Trump's going to win this election. I won't say easily, but it's starting to look that way. And so there we have that. And I guess we'll walk down this way. And we have a lot of really cool stuff to talk about with regard to the election and early voting. A lot of people have been talking about the military absentee ballots. And they have also been talking about voting from overseas, U.S. citizens overseas. And there's been a lot of talk here among the conspiracy theorist groups. And I'll just call them for what they are. Unfortunately, the Republican Party has way too many of that. And that's kind of good to be that way, because you're always questioning authority and the way things are done. So that's good. And so with that, there are companies overseas that have websites where if you are living overseas, you can request an absentee ballot. And a lot of people are trying to say that you can request an absentee ballot simply by using your email. And you can email and request one. But that still has to be verified, and you have to prove who you are, a U.S. citizen and all that. So basically you can't have like 200,000 Turkish people requesting ballots for our election and voting. So a lot of these conspiracy people like to make it look like that, but I haven't seen any evidence of that. I really haven't. And we do have Americans with dual citizenship that need to vote. And there are people living and working in Israel where they can vote in Israel and they can also vote in our elections. Most of those are Democrats, by the way. So, and it's not illegal to do that. So it's not some big conspiracy thing. It's hard to explain on here, but it's not the big deal people make it out to be. Just like when people say, ooh, we got turkeys. All turkeys. I'm gonna be quiet. Shh. You'll see them right through there. Got a whole bunch of turkeys. I don't want to disturb them. Look. All right. Hope you guys saw all of that. Right up through there. I had to get some cell camera footage too. Yeah, I counted 7. We had 7 gobblers. So if you see gobblers in a group of 7, is that good luck? I think so. He was digging right here. Right in that hole there. And that's all they do. They're digging around for stuff to eat for winter. Very cool. Did not expect to see turkeys today. This is the same area we saw the deer. And how many times did I tell you on my walks that it looks like turkeys and deer share the same routes? I don't know how they know those routes, maybe from memory or maybe scent. Oh, we got that nice sweet wood smell. I wish there was a better way to describe that, but it smells sweet. Let's get that sweet maple syrup kind of smell. All right, resuming the walk. I had to stop and take a nice picture, which I did. I love taking pictures. So anyway, what I was saying is it looks like Trump's going to win this election. I'm not saying that lightly. There is so much incredible feedback right now from people that have been working for the Republicans for decades, okay? They're absolutely shocked. They're shocked at what they're seeing, what's happening. They've never seen this before. The simple fact that Republicans have outvoted in early voting and absentee ballots, Republicans have outvoted Democrats for the first time in Nevada is very shocking. That tells me and everybody else, especially the Democrats, that they're in trouble. They're in big trouble. Even if some of those votes turn out to be people that just don't like Trump and they're voting for Kamala or they're voting for an independent, just because it says that they're a Republican voter and voted does not mean they're voting Republican. They may very well be some anti-Trump people voting, and but they may be voting for independents, because realistically, if you have a Republican voter, there's nothing Kamala Harris is offering at all. Nothing. And, you know, let's be real about that. If these Republican voters hate Trump, they're not magically just going to vote for Kamala. They're just not, because everything she represents is what virtually all Republicans abhor, whether you like Trump or not. So they would more than likely do a write-in, maybe vote for an independent. While I would prefer to see them vote for Trump, if they don't and they vote for an independent or write-in, I'm okay with that too, because that's not a vote for her. That makes sense. So last night on the town hall, I watched the whole thing because, like I've always told you guys, I don't come on here as a partisan just saying Trump's going to win because I'm voting for Trump. You know, you have to watch what the opposition is saying too. And Trump did a rally in Georgia. But while that was going on, I actually watched Kamala on the CNN town hall, and I saw how bad she was. She had a couple decent answers, nothing spectacular. But on the big ones, she really missed and messed up. You know, like Anderson Cooper asked her about the mistakes that she made, if there was anything. It's like giving her a second chance, because on The View, she gave a completely ridiculous, stupid answer of, no, I don't think I'd do anything different. Well, the country has 80% disapproval of the White House that's there that she's a part of. So she's saying she's not going to do anything different. That's not a good answer. It's not a good answer. So Anderson Cooper basically reframed the same question to give her another chance at it, asking her if she made any mistakes. If she made any mistakes, okay, as vice president or in this administration. Her first thing out of her mouth is, I made all kinds of mistakes. I mean, this was an easy layup by Anderson Cooper, who has donated a couple $1 million to Democrats, who desperately wants to see her win, okay? He gave her an easy layup. She made mistakes, she said. And, you know, and then she starts talking about anybody that's a parent understands what making mistakes is. Okay, well, that doesn't have anything to do with the mistakes you made. She could have come out and said, you know, I wish we had done a little bit better on the withdrawal from Afghanistan, but it was the right thing to do. We had to do that. I'm really sorry this. I mean, that's an easy answer. I'm standing here, a freaking nobody in the woods in Maine, giving a better answer than she did. That is how fucking bad she is. So, I mean, you can't fix that. She's just not a good candidate. And then another part of her reply was, for something else, was, you know, somebody had asked her, basically it was another layup question about, you know, the kind of replies that she gives, and people are having difficulty understanding what her policies are to that effect, is what this person said when they asked the question. And then she gives an answer like, well, sometimes I have a difficult time answering these questions because I don't know all the information, and I don't want to just... It's like, you're the Vice President of the United States and you get briefings. Or do you? It looks to me like she doesn't even get briefings because she doesn't want to answer these questions, so she doesn't give her a wrong answer. So not answering it's the best option. That's leadership, apparently, today. She gets briefings in the White House. Briefings. She's supposed to be informed on these things. Just terrible leadership. I have no idea why these young people today can't see that stupid bullshit for what it is. She gives bullshit answers. A lot of times when she's replying to something, she sounds like that 5th grader who didn't do their book report. They said they read the book, but they didn't read it. And they get up in front of the class to do their book report, and they just BS all the way through it. And you can tell every time somebody does that, and that's what she's doing. Everybody knows what that is. And that's why she's going down in the polls. So people can get upset about it. They can scream at Donald Trump. She's done more to lose this election than Trump has done to win it. And Trump has done a lot to win it on top of that. He's more popular now than he ever has been. And that's because he was there before. He was there before, okay? So all of this, he's Hitler, he's a dictator, he's this. He was there before, okay? He was there before. We had a good economy. People had money. Inflation was 1.2 or 1.3, something like that. And, you know, things were great until the pandemic showed up. Really put the brakes on everything. And, you know, if that pandemic hadn't happened, he would have had one of the best presidential records ever. And I think people know that. They just know that. You're not getting that with Biden and Harris. People know that. Try to go buy a house today if you want to find out. You know, the interest rates and cost of living, paying rent, food. And unfortunately, this young generation, a lot of them are too young to even remember Obama. You and I look at it like, geez, freaking Obama was like last week he was president, you know? That's what happens when you get older, but these young people don't even understand how America was before Obama. I want that America back again, where, you know, you do what you're supposed to do and you get what you get because you deserve it. And outrageous what's going on. So anyway, okay, let's move past Donald Trump winning the election, because I believe he's going to. There's like 12 days left, and it's getting down to crunch time. Kamala is dropping right at the right time. Trump is surging. The writing's on the wall. They're not going to be able to cheat enough to steal this one. And I'm just being honest with you. If it was very close, I would be concerned. But as of right now, it's not. Okay? Unless something really big changes, like a really big, real October surprise against Trump, a real one, you know, I don't see things changing. And the other thing is too is you have you're going to have that anxiety vote coming, where people are going to see, oh my God, Kamala's losing. The media is going to start talking about her not looking good, and that's going to be to try to get the people that didn't vote, to get them excited to go vote because they don't like her. So I don't know how well that's going to work. I don't know how much anti-Trump sentiment with these people who don't like either candidate is. So we might end up pretty much solid where we're going to sit. There's maybe 1% of undecideds left out there. 1%'s enough to fight for, and I think Trump is going to do well with them too. And I saw somebody online yesterday said, I don't like Trump's, he goes, I'm self-employed, I got my own business, I don't like Trump's policies. So I had asked him, well, what do you think his policies are? Then he listed all the mainstream media bullshit. And then I went and found a couple of Newsweek articles where at the end of the article they had the facts. The first 80% of an article is all the anti-Trump propaganda, and then the bottom of it was his actual policy. Because journalists still have to do that, or else they're liable for defamation and whatever else. So what happened was I went and found this information about these tax cuts for middle class that Trump is going to do, and these deregulation policies, and no tax for overtime. Okay, that makes it much better business friendly. It makes it easier for businesses to hire people and to pay them properly with less regulation. And you know, because all of this stuff that they want to do from the Democrats, it's extra taxes. They want to tax people that make less than $56,000 a year, for example, if you're self-employed with your own business. And they're changing like the tax brackets that you're in as a business, and it's going to cost you more money. And that's just a fact of it. That's researchable. And that's what a lot of these independent voters are going to do, is they're going to have to research this information before they cast their vote. And at this point in the game with 12 days left, if you're an undecided voter, pretty much it's a guarantee you're not voting. You're not voting for Kamala or Trump, and you're not happy with either one, which is okay. I'd rather see that than make a vote like I'm voting for Kamala just because somebody on MSNBC said I shouldn't vote for Trump. So anyway, we got a nice beautiful day today. Hope you enjoyed some of my conversation. And we've gone through here before with ice and water here, frozen. I'm sure we'll see that again. And as you can see, this looks a lot different than it did the other day. I got some footage through here at the right time on the last Woods Walk Gun Talk. And right now this is all looking pretty brown. The trees are getting pretty bare. The peak leaf season pretty much has passed at this point. And we got to see it right at the right time because I walk every day. So I have those walks up. If you go back over the last 2 weeks and check out my walking videos, you'll see some nice foliage that looks different on every walk. Because the season comes, it does what it does, and then it leaves quickly, all in a 2-week window. And next week at this time, there will be barely a leaf on the tree. We're going to have frost, cold mornings, and winter will be poised to strike. So very exciting times we're in. This is going to be nice. This is going to be enjoyable. Yes, the Democrats are going to do their shenanigans. They're going to do their BS. They're going to do their obstruction. They're going to do their crying, moaning, kicking their feet, filing lawsuits. And at the end of the day, they're going to be losers. And nobody loses like Democrats, okay? Nobody loses like liberals, liberal Democrats. They are going to have a sore ass after this one. Okay, so enjoy the ride, and we'll be right back. All right, I'm back again, friends. Like I said, the Democrats are going to have a sore ass. I'm sorry, I'm very happy today about this because I follow this a lot and I understand a lot of what I'm looking at. I'm not going by polling, I'm going by early voter turnout, which is historic for Republicans. Historic. This has never been seen before. And it's all good. It helps the candidates. And like I said, the only thing that would taint it up is if for some miraculous reason a registered Republican voted for Kamala Harris because they hate Trump, just as a middle finger. Those votes are going to be there, but it'll be few and far in between. And if you watch the media, they always point to things like, oh, well, we saw all these people voting for Nikki Haley in the primaries, like in Pennsylvania and here. And, well, those were all states with open primaries. I covered those. Maine has a semi-open primary where you can leave your party and re-register later. You can register as a Democrat to vote in the Democrat primary if you're a Republican, if you denounce your party for a short term. I believe there's a 3-month window required by law. So ahead of time, you can register in a new party. And then 3 months later, which leads up to this election, you can register again to your party. But, you know, you can vote Republican as a Democrat. So that's, but the primary, you can't do that. So in Maine, it was a semi-open primary. Pennsylvania had an open primary. That is, you can vote for a Democrat primary candidate, whether you are a Republican or independent. And they were referencing Nikki Haley because they're trying to say that there's a lot of anti-Trump vote out there. But 82% of her vote came from Democrats. Hi. And so about 82% of her vote came from Democrats during the primary. And so they were trying to say that Nikki Haley is going to unseat Trump, and, you know, these people that voted for Nikki Haley, they're going to vote for Harris. And like, yeah, that's because 80% of them were Democrats. So yeah, they're going to vote for Harris. Now the 20% that were Republicans that voted for Nikki Haley and not Trump, you had independents mixed in there at about 6%. So that leaves about 14% of Republicans voted for Nikki Haley in Pennsylvania. So when you break that number down, how many of them were like, well, I would have liked to have seen Nikki Haley, but since Trump's the candidate, well, he's the Republican, I'm going to vote for Trump. So once you remove that percentage, what's left? So that's basically what Harris is fighting for right now, and that's why she's going through all of this Trump is Hitler stuff. Really stupid, really. And that's more of the same, more of what hasn't worked. And John Kelly's accusations are falling flat again. You know, he waits 7 years, 6 or 7 years to say this now. 2 weeks before the election, you know, I mean, it's blatantly obvious what this is, you know. So that was supposed to be for the news cycle this weekend. We'll see if they try to substitute another one in for tonight to catch the news tomorrow on the Friday at the end of the week. There's only 2 weekends left of the news cycle. I'm predicting they're going to give their best October surprise attempt and next weekend. But, you know, this is one of those things where, you know, they're trying to manufacture October surprises, and October surprises are supposed to happen on their own. So I am going to try to get another shot. Some fall foliage. You can watch me get a picture this time. And I like to use my pro camera setting on my phone so I can adjust the white balance and all that, and you can get some really nice fall colors that way. I don't know if you can see that on here, probably not. But there's so much beautiful things to look at right now. And I am picking and choosing which part I photograph. So now my app is resuming walk. I'll head down through here. So I am wearing one of my InfoWars shirts. Alex Jones, love that guy. He does a lot of hyper exaggeration sometimes because, you know, he's trying to make money and stay above water. So I just kind of filter that out. Haven't watched him lately, I must admit. But I'm in that mode right now where I don't want to hear conspiracy theories about election fraud and all this stuff. Relying more on what I can actually see myself and see what's happening. A lot of times I'll follow these lawsuits against these companies accused of cheating, see the evidence, see what's going on. And there has been some cheating. I don't think it's on a big scale that they can really control election outcomes unless the elections are close, like razor thin. Like in Wisconsin, when Biden won that, I believe they cheated in Wisconsin. And Trump outperformed what the polling had said. Biden was supposedly 7 points ahead in Wisconsin. He ended up winning Wisconsin by 0.3, razor thin, 0.37, I believe. About 1/3%. So, or 0.037. Whatever the case is, it was very close, and those little bit extra they cheated got over the top. And I believe Trump won that state by a lot, and I think they had a whole bunch of those ballots already made, those ones that were turned in that just had Biden checked off and nothing else. And of course, that's just my opinion. I'm not stating that as fact. I don't want the algorithm to get mad at me. I'm just saying I have an opinion. I think for the most part, elections are fair. Each state has their own set of rules. You may agree with them or disagree with them, but it's up to voters to change them and nobody else. And that's the democratic process we have. And it actually makes it less likely for them to cheat in a lot of states, because the battleground states are the ones that people focus on during an election. So, you know, local elections is more difficult to cheat in because people are watching it. Now, national elections for the president, well, you know, you dump a whole bunch of votes in Pennsylvania from Philadelphia, which is known for cheating. They've been arrested and charged with election fraud in the 70s. That's in record. It's something that's been going on there for a long time. It's been controlled by Democrats forever and a week. And that's just the truth of that. You know, people can be upset with that, but, you know, stop doing that and people won't say it. So, anyways, with that, we're going to see what happens. And there is a lot of, unfortunately, there's a lot of shenanigans that go on. So I'm going to take out my camera again. I see a good picture. nice and low, get a good picture. Resume my app. Resuming walk, she said. I'm going to flip this around. All right. I did not walk yesterday, so I feel pretty fresh. Got a pretty good sweat going. Also have kind of a cool breeze cooling me off, which also feels good. Whew. A lot of work. Whew. That gets the heart rate up. Yep, so what I was saying earlier is these friggin' patriots, Republican voters, MAGA people, cut the crap with the doom and gloom. I was seeing so many people at this point getting to the point where they are listening to all this conspiracy stuff and they're feeling like their vote doesn't matter, and they're talking about not voting. And you're probably being a victim of Russian disinformation Chinese disinformation, Iranian disinformation. And we got to be smarter than that, guys. Got to be smarter than that. Every vote right now matters. Every single one of them. If it didn't, Democrats wouldn't be trying so hard to steal your vote, would they? If your vote didn't matter, then Democrats wouldn't care to steal it. Gotta fight back, man. Fight back. Vote. Vote, vote, vote. Fight, fight, fight. Vote, vote, vote. Fight, fight, fight. Stop screwing around. So we're almost at the top here. Almost at the top. I do love photography, so I like taking pictures. Well, there. Pausing my walk. I'm going to sit down for a second. I'm all sweaty, hot. Just wearing a long sleeve shirt with a t-shirt and I'm sweating my can. So anyway, like I was saying, we have a lot of patriots out there who are disgruntled. They're upset at the system, feel like we're being screwed, that they're cheating. And they very well may be doing some cheating. They absolutely cannot afford to have Trump be president again. There have been 2 assassination attempts on him. Pretty concerned. 12 days left that somebody might do something stupid and crazy. There's always that possibility. And I believe what would happen, you know, I've tried not to think about this because if it happened it would be terrible, but what would happen if Trump was assassinated before the election? We got a lot of these votes already in the bank. I think they would just leave him on the ticket, and I think they would do what they do when they're president. The vice president would assume the presidency. Democrats would fight against that, obviously, but the Republicans are in the House right now in Congress and would definitely vote for Vance to be president, and Congress would pick a vice president. They can pick who they want, but the Constitution usually says the Speaker of the House will be made vice president, and you'd have J.D. Vance as president, and you would have the Speaker of the House, Johnson, become vice president, according to the Constitution and how that's laid out. So that would be pretty wild. I'm pretty sure that's how they would do that. And we're so late in the campaign cycle right now that if Trump were assassinated, I think a lot of people would sympathy vote for Trump. I really don't have any doubt about that. He'd probably get even more votes. So they're screwed every way no matter what they do right now, and I think they're starting to realize it. And like I said, okay, savor this moment. Don't walk around staring at your shoes with doom and gloom. The sky is falling, the world, it's not. The Republicans have not looked this good in a long time. I'm talking about the Senate, and I'm talking about the White House, okay? The House with Congress, that's a toss-up. I'm being honest about that. But typically, when voters choose a Republican president, they will make sure there's a Democrat Congress just to balance out the powers. A lot of people didn't expect Trump to win in 2016, so when he came into office, he had the Senate, Congress, and the White House. And because he was new, Speaker Ryan took advantage of him and didn't pay a lot of attention to his agenda and did his own thing, which was the tax cuts and stuff, which arguably was either good or bad, depending on how you look at it, or who. But Trump was a newcomer, he had to learn. And unfortunately, he caught on really quick, 2 years into his term, how things work in DC. Now he's seasoned. He's going to come in like a freaking bull in a china shop. I firmly believe that. And boy, I feel sorry for DC, because it looks like he's going to win. And that's what I wanted. So I want you to enjoy this, okay? Be positive. My whole channel is about optimism, positivity. This is good stuff, okay? This is good stuff. They're nervous, they're afraid, and they know they're losing. And like an animal backed in a corner, they are going to be awful, okay? But it's going to help Trump, and it's going to help America heal, because they're going to see how bad the problem is. So just hang in there, okay? Just hang in there. I promise you this is going to be good. And I haven't felt this kind of optimism, and I've voted for Trump twice before. I have not felt this kind of optimism ever. And this is a different thing. So again, I don't want to get too high. It's not in the bag. I'm just saying my personal opinion is he's going to win this. So there has been reports about things like the possibility of terrorist attacks on election day at election places to mess with our elections. If they did that on a wide scale, that would definitely affect voting day, because I think voting day across the country would stop. It would be stopped. It'd be a national emergency. So pending anything like that, okay? And what makes me nervous about that is the Department of Homeland Services, the DOJ, and the FBI has stated that the threat level for that is very high, and they already arrested somebody that was plotting. He was an illegal Muslim, plotting an election day massacre, basically, terrorist attack. And I don't know how many of those are going on. I don't know if there's any sleeper cells that Biden let in. I don't know what's going to happen. I do know that Iran does not want Trump to be president again. So we might have some Hamas and Hezbollah people hiding out here, waiting for the word. So God forbid anything like that happens. But make sure you're carrying and you protect your family, okay? And so I don't have too much else to talk about with that. You know, I'm going to wait till this battery runs out, swap it out, walk my way out of here. And so that being said, Trump is doing 2 rallies today. 2. Doing one in Arizona and one in Nevada. The one in Nevada is later tonight, I think. And the Arizona one's this afternoon. It's happening right now, actually, as I'm recording this. I took time off from watching the rallies to come talk with you guys. Isn't that nice? So anyway, I'm trying to get the word out on this stuff. And so go to your social media, get the word out on this stuff, okay? It's important. We got to get the word out. And you know, yes, Facebook is going to censor people, so be careful what you post. Make sure you are sure of the facts, and it doesn't come from some sub-website that people haven't heard of that you like. Whether it's factual or not, it could get flagged as being misinformation. So it takes a lot more time and effort to scour the mainstream media and find the actual correct news, but you can find it. I do it almost every day. And accomplishes two things, big things. One, it avoids the algorithms of you having your posts hidden. Even if they don't block you or remove your post, the algorithm will set you lower where people don't see it. Or, by using regular mainstream sites, it's less likely to happen. And the other reason is that if you use a known media website that's a joke and they're all dishonest, but if you use a known website, the person you're talking to is more likely to believe what you're telling them. Because you have to remember, they've been programmed to believe that everything you say came from the liars at Fox News. So when I argue with these people, I don't use any Fox News links. I don't use any Fox News articles. I'm sure Fox News doesn't like to hear that. But I'm trying to get to people that get the wrong information, you know? And they're not going to listen to Fox News. Anything you post, they're not even going to look at it. They're just going to, I'm out of here. You're a jerk. You're one of those friggin' cult. You're a cult. You're in a cult, they'll say. So I don't use that language with people. I don't tell them they're in a cult. I don't use the word brainwashed. You've been brainwashed. As soon as you tell somebody that, automatic middle finger comes up to you. You're not going to reach anybody like that. Just post the information. Let them see it themselves. They're either going to look at it or they're not. If they're not, then just move on to something else. Don't sit there all day arguing with the same guy with 40 replies back and forth. That's another thing, the algorithm on social media. You'll get buried because a lot of that stuff is it's junk, it's garbage. And it always ends the same way. You block each other after saying a bunch of expletives. It's not worth the time. That person you're arguing with is never going to change their mind. Not ever. So it's a waste of energy. It's like going to an ice cream parlor and they take cash only and you have an ATM card and you're telling them, this is money, this is money. Why won't you take? They're not set up for it. You're not going to get your ice cream. You're just not. You can stand there and scream about it all day long and you won't get your ice cream. So that's all I wanted to mention. A lot of people get pretty upset about things. And so let's see. Take another picture. Got a lot of nice pictures today. Next time I come through here, a lot of this leaves and things like that might very well be gone. So we're having a good day. At least I am. Hope you're enjoying it. Love the sun on my face. So be happy, friends. Be happy. Smile. Be optimistic. Nobody likes that person that stands in the corner of the room with their hair in front of their face, staring at their shoes in a fit of depression. Nobody likes that. I don't. Be happy. Be happy. We have a candidate that in all likelihood is going to be changing the world for the better, ending these stupid wars. It's going to be awesome. You just got to get there. You got to make sure you go vote. Don't forget. Vote early. Get your vote in the bank. Very important. All right, we got a fresh battery in here. Let's, we came in this way. Let's go down this way. Let's go down this way. So anyway, moving along. That did eat up the battery a little bit sooner. A little bit. Because I have that front screen on all the time so I can see it the whole time. So I may put it back, and instead of turning off after 1 minute, I might set it to 3 minutes. But for today, we'll just leave it on. Oh, I see another good picture. There we go. That's one thing I'll say about the GoPro, is a lot of times the color will self-adjust. It kind of has like a smart sensor in it that senses the light and colors. And we got some really nice footage on one of the walks through here in the fall. And but it's kind of inconsistent. Sometimes it's not quite adjusted the way it should be for the lights with oranges and browns. But some of the bit looks pretty darn good. I hope you like that. And beautiful day today, beautiful day. So what I was saying is make sure you vote. Can't win if nobody votes. And that's why I get upset with these people with the doom and gloom. No doom and gloom. Stop the doom and gloom. Go out there and win this thing. Win, win, win. Okay? Too big to rig. Vote, vote, vote. Fight, fight, fight. Let's go out and win this thing. And we're only going to have one kick at the cat, okay? The election comes by and they say Trump lost everything by a smidge, then we know they cheated. We'll go from there. They would have to cheat at this point enough where somebody's going to get caught doing it. That's the point I'm making. So... But we have a lot of historical things coming up. We're going to have the President of the United States elect, President-elect, go to a sentencing. The thought of that makes me so giddy. Think about that. We'll go down this way and then we'll swing back on that other trail. We'll take the white trail off to the right. I like going that way. Coming up on 3 miles shortly. Go down through here. There's some people walking up here. Hi, how are you? Not too bad. Oh, look at this old couple down here. Well, this is not couple, but This old guy walking here has got a cane. We just hit 3 miles. Hi everybody.
Hi.
I'm gonna head on up this way. Try to get another picture. This looks like a good spot for a picture. Very nice pictures. All right. Getting some good pictures today, folks. Sorry, I like taking pictures. All right, back to what I was talking about. We're about to see something great, and we need to be a part of history, okay? We're going to be a part of history. This is going to be historic, which is what that means. We are going to see some crap. You think you've seen some crap in your lifetime before? Wait until you see what happens. I mean, hold on to your heinies, folks. Hold on to your hind ends. You thought 2020 was something to see? 2024 says, hold my beer. 2020 says, hold my beer. 2024, I mean. Think about it. You already know these leftist.orgs. They're starting to figure out Trump's going to win. And they're going to start their protesting. They're either going to start right after the election to protest it, which is what I think they'll do, or they're going to do like they did when he was sworn in the last time. They waited to see if those recounts were going to reverse the election, and then when it looked like he was going to be sworn in, as soon as he was sworn in, the riots started. So we're going to see rioting this time more than we did before, because like I said, nobody sore loses like Democrats. And that's the sad truth. They're not going to go peacefully in the night. They're not even going to blame themselves for Trump being elected, which is exactly what happened. People are tired of this far left extremist bullshit. Socialism, neo-Marxism, and it is neo-Marxism. Most of the gender ideology, critical race theory, all of this stuff, that's all based in the Marxist principles of empowering one group over another. It's not Marxist per se, because by definition, that's more of a financial kind of thing, or distribution of wealth, but it's neo-Marxist in design. Neo means it resembles but isn't. okay? As soon as you mention neo-Marxism to people, they'll say, define what Marxist is. You don't even know what it is. I didn't say Marxist. I said neo-Marxism. It's like saying neo-Nazis. They're not actual Nazis, okay? But they're a bunch of racist assholes. Regardless. And that's what the point is. Wow, I'm getting a lot of good pictures today. I really am. And you can see what I'm taking a picture of. You can see why. It's just, I have my white balance setting to really emphasize oranges and browns, and it looks really nice. So anyway, God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her. Above. Right there, the sunshine. Almost stepped in a hole. So anyway, which way am I going to go here? Do I go that way, or do I go this way? That way is on the way out. Let's see how many miles I've done. If I go the other way, I'm going to be adding another mile. And I think I will go the other way. We're at 3 1/4 mile right now. So I think I'm going to backtrack, sort of. Go this way. And this will get me to 4 1/4 mile. And then I will be good with my 5 mile average. And walking in the woods is more work than walking in the city. But I've been stopping to take more pictures and stuff and breaking up my rhythm so it does not feel as intense today. But we are going to have, most of the time in Maine, I've said it before, we get our first snow on or about Thanksgiving. It sticks on the car trunks and it sticks on the lawns, but it melts quickly. We have had snowstorms before in first week of November, which is coming up soon. So that's not totally uncommon. So we may very well have our first snow in a couple of weeks, which is another reason why in New England you should vote early and get your vote in the bank. You don't want to wait until we have a freak snowstorm on voting day, which could happen. So don't wait for that, okay? Get your vote in, it's okay. The mail-in voting that is cheating is the fake ballots from people that shouldn't be mailing them in. So that's an important distinction to make. If you request an absentee ballot, your vote's going to count. It'll mean a lot, and it will do a lot. And I don't want to go on the red, I want to go on the orange. We're going to go on the orange trail. Climb over this rock wall, which I've told you before. These are old property boundary markers that farmers used to do. I'm going to turn this around. Got my camera ready. So yeah, what I was saying is this is an exciting time. What a time to be alive, really. We've had assassination attempts. We had a pandemic, all since 2020. We had national riots. We've had a social upheaval of pretty much everything. Our government has gone out of control. And the people calling the people the fascists are actually the fascists who do fascistic things with authoritarian measures and screaming about misinformation. They want to control the information, and then they say they're not censoring. They're just making the information safe. Well, that's censoring. You're censoring people. You're censoring. So, we'll go up through here. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
We'll go up this way. Walk up through here. So that was nice to see that whole gaggle of turkeys today. So we go from seeing turkeys to seeing deer to seeing turkeys again. We'll go up further this way on the trail. You can see when you're walking like this that you can actually lose which way you're going because of the leaves. Everything just kind of blends in. But we have these orange markings on the trees. We'll follow the trail. We'll follow the yellow brick road. Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick road. Anyway. This way. Ooh, I got a good sweat going. You know you're doing it right if you're sweating. If you're sweating, that means you're doing a good workout. Even if you feel like you're not. I just hit 3.5 miles. So I'll go down through here. Go down the orange. I'm gonna go down the orange rabbit hole. All right, mosey on down. Good to come outside and get your walks in and touch grass, as they say. You gotta get out and touch grass. I'm still hearing acorns falling out of the trees. Let's see if we're gonna see those turkeys again, or if we're going to see some deer. Maybe neither one. Either case, I hope you're enjoying walking with me today. It is peaceful. And a lot of people post these videos and they overlay music, and I don't like to do too much of that. I can do that. I do that at the beginning of the video. But there's always this thing with royalties, copyrights. YouTube is very strange with that. There's even some music where you use the music that you want to use, and then you put it on your video and explicitly state underneath it who does it, where they can go buy it if they like it. And there'll even be some people that hold a copyright to it that don't even want you to do that. And then your video gets slapped with a reprimand. You don't get a strike for that, but you have to go edit it and remove it, fix it. And it's like, well, I have a perfect solution for that. I'm not going to bother with it. So there's enough to listen to in nature, I think. Just my opinion. What the hell do I know? Alright, I do know. I'm going to flip this around. It's amazing how different this trail looks when it's covered in leaves. It doesn't even look the same. It looks like I'm on a brand new trail I've never seen before. And I've been on this trail many times. Really, really freaky. I'm also starting to get hungry for food. I ate a light lunch before walking, which was mostly rice and vegetables. Those don't last long. I'm sure you know how that goes. Fellow meat lovers out there. So, be careful on this steep spot right here with the leaves. Leaves can be very slippery with pine needles and acorns. So you got these little natural ball bearings, leaves, and pine needles, all of which can send you for a loop very quickly. Either case, I hope you are enjoying my walk. And like I say sometimes, if I fall down and break my can, I'm sure you'll have a good laugh over it because you're the ones that are going to see it. I won't edit it. You'll get all my swearing and everything while I'm lying on the ground, crippled, waiting for a rescue helicopter or something. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully I get a signal. Help! Help! Alright, we'll go down through here. Now, like right here. This is what you gotta watch for. You see that underneath my foot? That is a root sticking up. Or if you're walking and you hook your foot in there, you're gonna go for a ride. So you gotta watch out for stuff like that when you're walking. The forest is always trying to kill you. So I'm looking ahead, see if I see any deer. You see those turkeys again? Wow, those turkeys we saw earlier, those were big sons of bees. Wow. Those things get really big. Those are big gobblers. They had the neck thing that hangs down there, the males. They were larger than the other ones. And you could tell they were the cock of the walk. Those women that they were with, that was like their females. Probably their kids growing up too. But you could tell who the boss was. There was two of them. All right. Walk through here a little more. Not seeing any deer or turkeys. Turkeys are pretty safe in here. They're not going to end up on anybody's dinner table walking through here. Probably another reason why they like coming here, and they didn't seem to be very afraid of me either. So, almost walked off the trail here. See what I mean? I've been through here many times, and because there's leaves on the ground, the trail looks different. Oh man, I wish I could. Oh, that sweet smell of leaves. It's just, it's so good. I'm telling you, you have to get out here. Where you are, it doesn't have to be specifically here, but you need to get out and touch grass. Get out in the woods. Don't get lost though. Don't get lost in the woods. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up this way, which is the way we usually don't go, because we've already been up through this way. And we'll head down through this way. Flip this around. Go through this way, which is the way I've never come down here actually. So this is a foundation of an old building that was here. I used to bottle water up here. Before the farmers out here had running water, they used to deliver water and milk and things like that. Got a helicopter. That is the Life Flight helicopter. That's for medical reasons. It means somebody's having a bad day. We've got another part of a rock foundation here. So I'm standing in what used to be a basement. That looks like an old piece of farm equipment right there with the wire on there. I don't know what that's used for. I'm not a farmer. Maybe dragging that through what you plowed up already to granulate it a little bit. I don't know. We're going to walk up this way. We walked through here earlier. We're going to reverse walk. And then we're going to walk out of here. And we will have our 4 miles, a little over, through here. And then I'm going to head back to the ranch, as they say. So, shadows are getting long today. There's some nice birch trees in here, starting to turn that brown yellow color from their yellow that they were. Very nice. Yeah, so I get very excited when I think about the election coming. But again, we need to be realistic. We need to keep our head out of the clouds, be diligent. Don't count on anything till you have it in your hand. That's the best advice I got from my mother. So enjoy what's happening, relish in it, cheer for it, but don't feel like Trump has already won, because he has not, okay? There is still the unknown female I hate Trump vote. They have really been hyping that in the media all year long. That has been effective, and it has to do with abortion. That is a real issue. The media has been being hyperbolic about it, exaggerating about a lot of stuff. And basically, Trump's Supreme Court appointees did reverse Roe v. Wade, but they did not ban abortion. And that is the propaganda that they're spewing. They sent it back to the states to democratically let voters choose what they want in their state. I don't know why people are so anxious to have the federal government regulate the entire country on everything. That is socialism. We are a federation of states. Each state has their own constitution to abide by the federal rules. Each state governs itself. That's what makes us great. When you start having provinces, then you end up with Canada and Australia, and look what happened with them. People that live there have lost their freedoms, and they are given just enough freedom to almost feel like they're free, and they're going to lose that too. So we cannot let that happen here. Very important for states to regulate for their citizens in their state. And think of the United States as all 50 individual little countries. And that's what it is. They're all states. They all have their own borders, their own rules, and but they all have to abide by a national constitution, which is fair. So the Supreme Court just simply said Roe v. Wade is oppressing the rights of people in other states that don't agree with it, and it needs to be sent back to the people, and democratically people can vote in their own states. Kansas is a very good example. Kansas, has a lot of it is Republican, but they passed measures there where people can get abortions. And a lot of Republicans don't like that, but that's democracy. That's real democracy. So, you know, let democracy dictate what's going to happen. It's really simple. The will of the people. It's the will of the people, not the will of the government. So the people should decide the abortion issue, and that's just the way this country was designed. We don't have kings in this country, or monarchies, where they just rule for everybody. And that seems like that's what they want. And they're not going to get that, because that's not what America is. That's not one I'm ever going to live in. I will not allow it. Neither will millions of other people. So, that's why I say, go out and vote. Let's go out and vote. You don't like how things are? Vote. All right. Swap this around. Anyway, I put my camera away. Whew. I am sweating, boy. I'm also wearing leggings under my cargo pants, and they're soaked. So Mid-50s is a little too warm to be wearing those. Note to self, I shan't do that again. So the shadows are getting long right now. Days are getting shorter. That's the way it goes, folks. Shortest day in the year is going to be coming up. December 21st, I believe. It'll be dark here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. True. All right. Make sure I got my stuff. I always do a body check once in a while. Make sure I didn't drop or lose anything. Because the sooner you can get to where you dropped it or lost it, the easier it'll be to find. Not that I drop and lose things all the time. That's probably why I don't. Maybe, I don't know. I do know that I'm going to be walking out of here, straight out of here. And we're going to wrap this up. We walked by the same thing earlier. I kind of did a circle and a half in here today, but part of it was reversed, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go home, take a shower, make a nice supper, and I'm gonna watch Uncle Trump tonight. Uncle Trump doing a rally in Nevada, and he just took a lead in Nevada. It's a slim lead in the polling, but Nevada is one of those states he doesn't necessarily need it, but it's 6 electoral college votes. Something goes bad with Arizona, he's going to need it. So I think Arizona is 11 electoral college votes, I think. I want to get a picture that I did not get earlier, now that I'm here. Oh, that looks nice. Well, I gotta tell you, I got a lot of good pictures today. I'm very happy with. Coming up on 4.5 miles now. This is coming up on 2 hours long. So we'll walk straight out of here and wind this up, or wrap this up, as they say. Yeah, so I'm really serious about this. Enjoy what's happening, okay? Follow it if you can. We're watching history right now. And either way, this is still history if we're watching this and everything looks good. And then at the last minute, something really catastrophic happens. You're still going to be involved in this somehow. And it looks like Trump's going to win. And there's a full Democrat-run media machine that is trying to make it look like he's not going to. And they're trying to make the best out of Kamala Harris they can. But she's so bad. She's so bad. And they're even reluctant now to even say, yeah, she was awesome, because they know they look stupid saying that. But she's not good. She's not good. She's really bad. So anyway, nice and peaceful today. It's a nice day. Enjoy your day. Be happy. Don't listen to all this bullshit, and there's a lot of it. We're winning, okay? And it's just very basic, simple math. All right, we'll walk on down here. There's somebody coming up here. It's like an older fella having a good walk. Oh, we're gonna walk on down here. Hi, Chief. How are you? Wow, the guy looks like he's not doing well. I don't know what to make of that. Doesn't look very healthy. Hope he's okay. I mean, he must be. He's here walking. But it looks like he's a bit puckered, petered out. Well, all right, we walked down through here earlier. No, we're not. We're not in the Groundhog Day movie. We have been down this way already. But this time we're going to go straight out. I want to thank you very much for walking with me today. Thank you very much for walking with me today. Remember to be happy, okay? Be happy. Things are going good. The Kamala campaign is in ultra desperation mode. They're throwing Hitler around again. They're throwing around all the stuff they've already beat to death for the last 7-8 years. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I even saw another sex accuser yesterday. 30-something years ago, Trump groped me. So that's another one that's come out of the woodwork. 30-something years later, 2 weeks before an election, now's the time to say something. Come on, man. Come on. She's also an Obama volunteer, okay? She worked with Obama's campaign a few years ago. So that's all you need to know. That's all bullshit. So that story's not going anywhere because it's nothing. And, you know, I talked about that a few days ago. I'm sure you guys thought of the same thing. It just more vindicates that Kamala is losing. And there's nothing they can do to stop that at this point. And like I said, even if they should manage to kill Trump, the way the Constitution is, and most of the people that already have their votes in, they would have to honor that. And I think he would get a lot of sympathy vote. And basically, J.D. Vance would end up being the president, and the Speaker of the House, Johnson, would be vice president. I really believe that's what would happen. Because we don't have Democrats in Congress yet that would screw that up. So getting my last pictures. I take a ridiculous amount of pictures, I really do. And I do that because, you know, sometimes you gotta take, at least I do, I gotta take 40 pictures to get like 5 really good top-notch ones where the lighting is just right. Like that one I know is going to be a good one, because I kept the sun a little bit behind the tree, but sticking out just enough to make it have some nice ambiance, like you would do with a flare lens. So we're going to walk on out of here. I want to thank you very much for walking with me today. I really hope you enjoyed it. We talked about a lot of stuff, and I realize on my walks a lot of times I'm redundant, repetitive, but you know, I'm walking every day. What's changed since yesterday? You know what I mean? Sometimes there's something that changes, but you know, like Kamala's town hall last night, that was new. She really was not very good. And she was given such easy layups, easy. All she had to do was just give an answer that didn't involve throwing a freaking dagger at Donald Trump. Yeah, but Trump, Trumpity Trump. I mean, that's her answer for everything. You know, and she does that word salad thing. She started off the thing pretty good. She had her answers down somewhat. And then she went right off in the word salad stuff because she didn't know what she was talking about. And it just kills me that she's the vice president and she's uninformed when she gets briefings as vice president. She probably shrugs them off because she's lazy and she doesn't like to do the work. She already has that reputation among many in DC. She doesn't like to do the work. So, anyway. Hello. A whole bunch of people today. Some more people walking down here. Look at that smile. Big smiles. All right. That little girl looks like she's having a great time in the leaves today. Better to come on a day like today rather than the beginning of summer when all the ticks are out. I cannot imagine any small child enjoying a tick being removed from their ankle or something. So anyway, folks, we're going to walk on out of here. I want to thank you very much for walking with me today. Click like and subscribe, share the content, blah, blah, blah. Be nice to one another. Root for Trump. Things are going good. And pending an act of God, Trump's got this, really. So he's going to be picking up steam between now and the election. That happens every year. Kamala has peaked. She's zenith. She's gone backwards, and she's not going to gain any more points. So enjoy what's happening. And until we talk again, friends, thank you very much for walking with me. And we'll see you soon on the next walk on Walking with J.Beau, an almost daily walking vlog. Bye-bye now.